Hey guys, welcome back to what is another crazy week in the stock market industry. Today was the biggest fall in the Dow Jones in history, which puts the kind of financial climate in perspective. But anyway, if all this financial talk bores you, let us get back to the business of Svelte and this Firebase thing. So what we want to do here is that we want to match our user IDs from the list of users that have been registered with the user's records. So each record has an ID which comes from the original authentication user, and we're storing custom data. And this is the custom data we want to build the app with. So in order to read these out, we have to get the data from the list of users and then match them with the different reads of these records. Now SQL is a lot easier to do this kind of stuff, but unfortunately, just with these document databases it's kind of difficult to do this sort of relational stuff. But we're going to show you how to do it. So we have this function that called get some users, and what we're going to do is that we've got this admin which will give us a list of the users that are registered, and that's going to give us a list users result, which is an array of user records. Now we don't want to return sensitive information like emails because it's JSON over the request. So we basically just want to have like the user ID and the display name, which we'll use in the application. So once we get this read here, we get this promise, we get the list users, and then what we're going to do is we're going to create a list of promises, which is a bunch of reads. And this is the really tricky bit. So I actually went on Stack Overflow and I was asking some questions for the best way to do this. Originally I made a mistake actually. I thought I was basically trying to do it like this here, but that wasn't actually it wasn't working. So I looked at this answer, and long story short, I have a better way of doing it. So I'm going to help with the guys. I'll leave the link to that question on the show notes if you want to go deep. So anyway, we have this list here, and we're creating a list of queries using this map function, and this here returns a promise, and it gets the user plus the user ID, and this one query here will execute for one of the items in here. But we want to do that for each one of the users that return from the original list of users, like that. So what we want to do is that we want to use promise.all on this list of this array of promises here, and that's going to return what's called doc snapshot. And the type of this snapshot is actually, if you go into this ones here, it's a data snapshot, and these are the properties of that object. So there's a function called val, and that's going to give us the actual real value of the thing we're going to be using. So you can read about this in the extracts a JavaScript value from a data snapshot. So let's look at how we match the users from the authentication table and the custom data here. So we have an array of snapshots. So what we want to do is we want to find the snapshot key that matches the user ID. Now remember, the key is what we have stored, is this value here, but that actually does match the user ID. So when we get this user from the original admin list of users, we can then strip that information, which takes the user and returns a new object with just the ID and the display name. And so we have two things here we can combine and send back as part of the map for the parsed users, and then we want to turn the parsed users to use in the Svelte app. So let me just show you the one we're just returning the user ID. So I'll show you that in Postman. You go into Postman here, and if you execute this function, we're just going to get back the stripped user. Now, some of the users when they first signed up didn't have a display name, so that's why it's missing there. It does seem to take a little bit of time though. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty slow right there. So hopefully there's ways to speed that up, and you Firebase experts can probably advise me there. So let me just show you the log for that. So if we want to see these values logged, we can just I've just put a log there and log there. We can go to the logs table in the logs viewer, and we can just get newer logs. right? So so there's our, we're looking for begin and then end. So we've got this begin, and oh, it's not really synchronous, isn't it? Anyway, so this is the snapshot. You've got like a username there, and text payload, that's the value. That's the snapshot value. And then we've got the stripped user, which contains the ID and display name. So if we want to combine those two, we just want to return the display name as part of the object that we return. So now we just do the fun bit, which is, okay, so I got a little bit stuck for a few days. There was actually a bug with this code. So this code is actually returning an error because some of the users didn't actually have a username yet, because I created this features after. So what I've done, I've went and deleted all the data for all the users and all the authentication. So if you've already created an account, unfortunately you'll have to create an account again, which is sometimes what happens with pre-alpha applications. So that will be, this will return this combination object here. And let's just deploy this, and let's not restart that. Let's go and deploy this function. So let's just go check to see if it works inside our special postman. And let's just click send. Still running kind of slow, I'm a bit concerned about that. So there we go, we have the data here. And then if we just go to the app, we can just click refresh on this page. We have the user there. So that's it for this video. I will actually create a release for this version, so you will have the exact code linked on this YouTube video description. Thanks for watching, my friends, and appreciate you all. And destroy that like button. Destroy that like button. Always really motivates me to keep producing this content. So thanks so much.